So every company out there thinks they know their customers, right? But what if there's this huge gap between what you think they're going through and what's actually happening? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful tool that's designed to close that gap and finally see your business through your customers' eyes. Okay, for just a second, let's forget about all the spreadsheets and the sales charts. Let's get to the heart of it. What does it actually feel like to be your customer? What are those little moments of delight? And maybe more importantly, where are the points of frustration? Answering that honestly, well, that's the real first step to building something people love. You know that gap we were just talking about? The one between what you perceive and what's real? Experts actually have a name for it, the empathy gap. And that's where things get frustrating for customers, and it's where businesses lose them. But there's a fantastic tool designed specifically to bridge that gap, the customer journey map. Now, when you hear customer journey map, don't picture some stuffy business diagram. Think of it more like a story. It's a visual narrative, a play-by-play of a customer's entire relationship with you. It starts from the very first time they even hear your name, all the way to the moment they become a huge fan. It maps out every step, every emotion, and every single interaction along that path. So I know what you're thinking. Why go to all this trouble? Well, because these journey maps are incredible strategic tools. They let you ask those critical what-if questions. You might find out that the moment a customer feels most anxious isn't about the price, but it's about that confusing shipping info that pops up right before they're about to hit buy. Uncovering that kind of insight, that's a total game changer. All right, so what actually goes into a great journey map? It's definitely more than just a random collection of sticky notes. A really effective map has a clear structure with a few key components. Let's break down its anatomy. So, every effective journey map is built on these 5 core elements. First up, you've got the persona. Who are we even talking about? Then, the timeline. What are the different phases they go through? We also have to track emotions, the literal highs and lows of their experience. And finally, touchpoints and channels, which are the specific actions they take and where they take them.
Okay, now this next part, it's where a lot of people get tripped up. The difference between touchpoints and channels. As you can see here, the touchpoint is the action the customer is taking, like paying a bill. The channel is simply where that action happens. Is it online, through the mail, maybe in person? Getting this straight is absolutely crucial for a clear and useful map.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why down. Now for the fun part, the how. I know creating a journey map from scratch might seem a little overwhelming, but we're going to break it all down into a simple 9-step blueprint that anybody can follow. Yep, just 9 steps. That's all it takes. This blueprint is going to walk you through the whole process, from the very beginning with research and data, all the way to creating that final, polished map that can actually drive real change in your organization. So let's get started. So these first 3 steps, they're all about laying the groundwork, building a solid foundation. Step 1 starts with looking at your business goals. What are we trying to achieve here? Step 2 is all about research, gathering up all that raw data. And in step 3, you start to give that data some structure by listing out every single customer touchpoint and channel you can think of. And when we say gather research, we mean you've got to cast a really wide net. You want to be looking at, well, everything. Talking to customers directly in interviews, sending out surveys, digging through your customer support logs, checking out your web analytics, and of course, listening to what people are saying on social media. You funnel all of these different sources together to get the richest possible picture. Okay, next up, we're moving from just collecting data to actually making sense of it all. Step 4 is about creating an empathy map to really get a feel for what your customer feels. In step 5, you brainstorm with different lenses, like how would a first-time user see this versus a total power user? And finally, step 6 is creating an affinity diagram, which is basically a fancy way of saying you group all your sticky notes into themes. And that's where the magic happens. You start to see these amazing patterns emerge. So that empathy map I just mentioned, it's a really powerful little exercise. It's designed to go way beyond what a customer does, and it forces you to think about what they're actually thinking, feeling, seeing, and hearing. It's just a structured way to step into their shoes and really get their perspective in a specific situation. All right, we've done the homework, we've made sense of the research, now we get to the really creative part, bringing this whole customer story to life by actually building the map. This is where we actually start building. Step 7 is all about just sketching the journey.
Seriously, grab a whiteboard, grab a bunch of sticky notes, and start laying out the timeline, the touch points, and all those emotional insights you found. Then, once you have a solid rough draft, step 8 is where you clean it up, refine it, and digitize it into a polished, professional-looking map. And look, I really want you to hear this. There is no one right way to do this. Don't be afraid to get creative with it. Whether you use a simple timeline or some kind of complex diagram, the best format is always the one that tells your customer's story with the most clarity and the most impact.
Okay, this brings us to the very last step. And honestly, it might be the most important one of all. A customer journey map is completely and utterly useless if it's just buried in some digital folder somewhere. Its real power is only unlocked when it's shared and used by your entire organization. Seriously, after all that hard work, you can't just let it die on a hard drive. This final step is what separates a pretty picture from a powerful tool for change. You gotta do what Megan Grocki says here. Shout from the rooftops and display them prominently in common areas. Don't just email a link to people. Print your map out big. Put it on the walls or people walk by every day. Present it to every team. It needs to become like a shared compass for your whole company, a constant reminder of who you're all working for. So there you have it. The blueprint is all yours. Your customer's story is being written right now, every single day. The only real question is, are you ready to map it out and discover what it truly has to tell you?